There we are. Good morning, y'all. I don't know why I agreed to be here, but that's alright. Hi, I don't even know. This is not my normal stream time at all. I've done this on the weekend where people are typically free. I have no idea who's gonna be free at this time of the day, but we're gonna find out. I still need to make a live tweet. Fuyue, good morning, good morning. Let me tell y'all, I technically woke up at around, oh, what time? Maybe. I think I naturally woke up at exactly 6:45 a.m. just because my body is so used to waking up at that time for work. But I don't work in the morning today. So I actually got to sleep in today. And by sleep in, I mean I went back to sleep and slept every single possible moment and tried to just lay in bed until quite literally 9:57. So a few minutes before stream. I woke up 20 minutes ago. Yeah, I woke up like 10 minutes ago. Like 15, but still. So I am freshly awakened. I still need to make a live tweet. I'm gonna do that now. Let's see. Take this, take this. Though I'm actually not going to be going for too long today. I'm only going to be going for about an hour. So we are more so. There we go. I cannot speak. We're more so going to be playing a little game I like to call who has nothing to do with their day. Who for some reason has decided to stop by here of all places. Maybe I'll continue the trend of making mornings. I'll make mornings productive streams. So, oh, I like this morning cafe jazz. Let's listen to this. There we go. Mia, welcome on in. Welcome, welcome. Oh, you know what? Actually, now that I think about it, I said today will be like seeing who has nothing to do with their day. But really, for somebody who's in, a European or just like different time zones, this is a perfectly normal time to be watching a stream. So maybe that's what the stream really is. Who are my non-American viewers? We'll see. But yeah, my live tweet will say I'll write I don't, or like I'm live doing some morning chatting, though I'm not particularly why I decided to torture myself in this way. I should be sleeping in while I have the chance. YouTube and Twitch links below. Do that. Click that. Now I have to actually get the links. Oh, I'm not gonna hear myself, am I? Please don't let me hear myself. Ah, Sophia over on YouTube. Good morning, good morning. Oh shit, no! It's fine. Okay, I'm just doing my live tweet real quick, and then we will be good to just chat about whatever. I know other people, they talk about like getting really grumpy or like hangry, whenever they're really hungry. For me, the time that I am at my most irritable or most volatile is like right after I've woken up. I don't know why. I mean, I feel like a lot of people are that way though, right? I feel like that's not an uncommon thing. There we go. And now I've got... Alright, I can focus on chatting now. No, I feel like that's not an uncommon thing to like be really grumpy in the morning. But I've got it bad. Leonic, welcome on in. Welcome, welcome. What do you mean? I mean, yes, I am a nerd. Yes, you are here. Well, you have nothing to do. That's what we are learning. Yeah, actually, I'm kind of surprised you're up this early. My mood depends on my blood sugar. Really interesting. I've never really thought about anything like that. I always... Sorry, I cannot think. You're up this late? Okay, never mind. That tracks a little bit more for you. No, I have no idea anything about my body, like my blood sugar levels, my, cholesterol, my blood pressure. I don't think about any of that stuff. I just kind of hope for the best. And you know what? I've lived this long, so I think I'm doing at least something marginally okay. Probably not great. You know, one of my, do you not go to the doctor? That costs money. Are you kidding? So does health insurance. Doesn't that kind of suck that it costs money to make going to the doctor cheaper, but you still have to pay that money even if you're not going to the doctor? That's like, it's kind of a scam. Kind of sucks. No, my strategy is, just don't get sick and just don't have problems. That's how I save money on health insurance. The insurance companies hate this one simple trick. But yeah, fun fact, that little thing that doctors use to take your blood pressure, you know, the one where they like put it around your arm and then they like pump it up and it gets really tight. It's got a really funny name in my opinion. It's called a sphygmomanometer, which is a very fun word to say. I have so many health issues. I'm an expensive human. Aw, well, I hope you get better soon then. That's unfortunate to hear. I should have died too many times. I live out of spite. I feel like I'm probably in the same boat somewhat. Probably not as many times. Ligma Phenomenator. What's Ligma Phenomenator? Let's see. It looks like the music's at a good volume. Good. I'm up late. Okay. Yeah, really late. No. I'm not saying it wasn't funny. I'm not saying it wasn't funny. I'm just... Well, no, the joke is like, oh, what's you know, like, what's Ligma, right? And then you go like, Ligma Balls Phenomenator. See, that I was setting you up for the joke, and you failed. You failed me, Leonic. I can't believe you. I'm fucking tired. Yeah, I'm tired, by the way. Oh, damn, I've gotten so good at winking over the last few days. How has this happened? I don't know. Hold on. Now I can't. Fuck. You know what? It'll be a mystery that not even I can solve. You know, this little, like, morning cafe jazz, this little video that I have on, just has, like, videos of people making coffee and of it being, like, poured in cups. And it's actually, like, really nice. It's like a form of... It's like visual ASMR, if that makes sense. Which, by the way, can I just talk about how fucking, like, envious I am of people who, like, do certain kinds of ASMR for their job? Like, I feel like a speaking ASMR is something I would never want to do, which, like, I don't envy people who do speaking ASMR. It's just not something for me. But imagine doing the kind of ASMR where you just run shit over with your car slowly, right? You're like, oh, what do we want to get today? I'm gonna grab some pumpkins and some watermelons. I'm gonna grab, like, some candy bars or whatever. And I'm just gonna run them over with my car. Just gonna grab paint. And, like, that's it. That's your job. Me, I want that job. Yeah, I am never going to listen to your ASMR. I think if I ever listened to your ASMR, I would die. Truly, I don't think I could handle it. The stream is secretly just so you all can hear what my yawns sound like. Here, I wonder, maybe I'll do impromptu talking ASMR by just getting closer to the microphone. I'll just talk a little bit more like this, and maybe this will help. So I don't need to project my voice as much. I have no idea how this even sounds. Model leans when you yawn. Does it really? I didn't even notice that. Especially the fucking King X Prisoner, one of my script writers just got back to me about. What is King X Prisoner? Like, okay. Wait, do you mean like it's a roleplay where you are a king and the other person's a prisoner? Is that what you mean? It's like, isn't that just the beginning of Oblivion? It's like, damn, hold up, it's ha. Wait. It'd be, you know, Uriel Septum at the start of Oblivion. Here, I'm gonna back up so you can see my mouth again. The start of Oblivion, where Uriel Septum's like, you are the one from my dreams. And, but it's like real freaky this time. It's like, old man Uriel Septum runs his face along, you know, is like, oh, I run my face along. Oh, Fayley, good morning. Why are you coming in as I'm about to say this? Old man Uriel Septum runs his fingers along your cheek. You are the one from my dreams. Stares lovingly into your eyes. It's like, oh, there's a back passage I need to take to get out of here. Wink. Ha! Alright, but I'll hydrate real quick. And, good, I guess for you, Fayley, good afternoon. I get summoned at the strangest moments? Apparently so. I feel like you always come in when I would not want you here. It's like, let's say, hypothetically, this situation is a dartboard, and I'm throwing darts, and I'm trying to throw it, like, and the dartboard is covered with moments of when I would want you to arrive in the stream, and I'm throwing a dart to see when you arrive. It's always when I accidentally throw the dart backwards and hit somebody. That is the only time you come into my stream. And then you stick around, and then more stupid shit happens, and then I want to die. But that's fine. It's okay. Also, I know, I'm a master of metaphors. I actually think that's like, if I had a talent, I think it would be creating stupid metaphors on the spot. Well, that and my whole, I think I showed it off recently, my whole talent with like the whole woodchuck tongue twister. I showed it off once before, but it's too much of a skill to not show off again. So, you know, there's the very classic, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? And the answer, of course, is a woodchuck could chuck as much wood as a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. But then you can swap woods and chucks. How much chuck could a chuck wood if a chuck wood could wood chuck? A chuck wood could wood as much chuck as a chuck wood could wood if a chuck wood could wood chuck. Don't know why I can do that. I have no fucking idea. I did not practice it. That is not something I sat down and tried to learn how to do. I just did it one day. I don't understand. I'm going to pretend I understood that? No, it makes no fucking sense at all. It's incomprehensible. What the fuck is a chuckwood? I don't fucking know. Oh shit, I need to plug in my scooter. Last night I told myself, okay, so after Gartic Phone, which by the way was an absolute treat. That was so much fun. But after Gartic Phone last night, I like clawed over to my bed on all fours and was like, oh, but my scooter, I need to plug it in so I can actually get to work tomorrow. And then I was like, I can Don't say that's hot. I'm not on my knees for you.
Yet.
But no, I told myself, I'll stream tomorrow morning, and I'll just plug it in then. I'll just plug it in then. Now is then. So I think I need to do that. So I'm going to hold on. It's like maybe we're gonna go on a little adventure. I'm gonna make you guys mobile. Okay, so you guys are on my headset microphone now. And then let me do this. And I'm setting this all up. And then I'll join this VC. So that way I can use Fugi and... Alright, magic trick. Look over there. Alright. I've become small. Alright, adventure time. Okay. Gotta find my charger. That's what it's called. Sorry, I don't think I wake up until like another 3 hours from now. My brain is mush. Right? Like my brain, somebody opened up my cranium, scooped out my little like smooth peanut brain and slapped it into a fucking blender to make some mole. Like, I am incapable of advanced thought. Alright, let's plug this in. Oh, there we go. And then plug this in. Alright, I now will have a way, I will now have a way to work. Alright, and now... Alright. Let me set this up first. Alright, we're on the good microphone again. Alright, look over there. There we go. It worked flawlessly. I feel like I'm like less than a centimeter too close to you guys. I feel like I need to be like right here. I feel like that's slightly more natural. Magic, you know, it's true. Detectives are actually naturally talented magicians. That's the word. And musicians. I'm something of a musician myself. But no, we also, because we have to understand the art of misdirection, right? That's all being a magician really is, right? It's just knowing the right thing to do with your hands. You know, it's all about that sleight of hand, and it's all about knowing how to guide somebody's attention to something besides your hands, or besides whatever you're doing, right? Maybe you're doing a magic trick with your feet. It's like, oh, well, just gotta make sure they're not looking at my grippers. You know how to use your hands? Not particularly. But no, point is that, like, there you are, you're, like, fiddling with the cards with your feet, and you just have to make sure they're, like, paying attention to your tongue, right? And then there you go. And then, like, they won't even understand what happened. Whenever you're like, is this your card? And then you, like, go into a fucking, like, yoga pose just to show them their card. Alright, hi, Cat. So I like how... I like how our audience here consists of two Europeans who are here at a reasonable time, somebody who just woke up, and like an American who just woke up, and an American who has not slept at all. Like they're I don't know. I feel like it's some nice diversity from just, oh yeah, it's a normal, reasonable time for me to be watching a stream, and we're also around the same time. I don't know. It's like kind of, it's fun in a way, but I'm not doing more of these morning streams probably, unless you guys like seeing me grumpy. Who knows? Maybe I just sacrifice my happiness for you all. No, I do enjoy being here. I do. They're good streams. Well, I feel like I'm most natural during my chatting streams, right? Like, sure, I like playing games. I like, you know, doing collabs with people. But, you know, there's a reason why before I debuted, I was called like the Yap God, the Yap King, because I just like, I like yapping. And I would just yap to anybody who was in VC. I would just, like, if there's anybody who I could talk to, I'd want to just yap and be yapped at as well, right? The yap victim, so to speak. And a lot of my biggest inspirations for streaming in the first place, they were kind of known for their yapping streams as well, right? They're you know, they're Zatsudans. And I feel like it's just very natural. I wish I could do chatting streams, but no one shows up. I need games to have an audience, not gonna lie. And that's just how it's gonna be sometimes, and that's okay. I mean, I do think that for you, you only just now showed off your PNG, which you all should totally go look at, by the way. And so, like, for a chatting stream, there's probably would have been very little being shown off, right? Don't shout me out, nerd. Hold on, let me remember how to do the shout out command. There you go. Go follow that doofus. But yeah, so I feel like things might be a little bit different. Thankfully, that's actually something I liked about streaming on any live at first, was the fact that I, you know, started off as somebody who was like I just did chatting, right? That was my origin as a streamer. And so I was very fortunate that the exact kind of content that I really wanted to focus on, which is chatting, I really should do at least once of these a week. I don't know why I don't. But the exact kind of content I want to focus on is exactly what I was kind of basically forced to do, and people always expected because of the limitations of the app. So I was very fortunate in that way. And now I've just built up enough of a community that I know that if I hit that live button and say, oh, like we're doing a Zatsu stream, some people are gonna show up. Something Nexus made you do actually helped? No comment. Also, you say the whole stop, you have violated, like, stop, you have violated the law. And that reminds me that I had a dream last night. It's very, very rare for me to have a dream. I don't remember if this was, I think this is whenever I woke up at 6:45 actually. And then I went back to sleep after this. But I had a dream, so... Oh, is this gonna bring my magnifying glass back? I have no idea if it will. Okay, hold on. I'll combine these for you at first. So do timer. Alright, and... Oh, okay. So I'm sorry, but what we're gonna do is we are gonna do like a more low... I'm gonna do like a more of a low southern voice, like a yeehaw. All right, everybody, there we are. I know that yeehaw didn't have very much pizzazz to it, but I don't particularly feel like going up doing my higher one, because I straight up do not have the energy to do that. But anyway, I'll go ahead and give you some nice good southern wolves. I do like a wait, how the fuck? What is the most southern dog possible, I wonder? Maybe... You know, I've got no fucking idea. Also, for anybody who's here and does not know about my redeems, you must be wildly confused. You know, I'll just give you some good ones. There you are. Sorry, I can only ever sound like a small dog. I don't particularly know why that's the case. But right, so I actually did have a dream today, which is very, very rare. And it was... So you know you've got the whole, like, new James Gunn's DCU that's, like, being made, right? And there's that whole, like, Superman movie that's coming out. Okay, I'll give you a southern hydration as well. Yeehaw! That was a mistake, holy shit. Oh, alright. So... Yeah, so I had a dream where there's like the whole new James Gunn DCU, and I guess there was some kind of like play going on, or no, I think it was a I think it was like a voice acting project, and all the other people who were like voicing the DC characters, like David Cornsweet was playing Superman in this project or whatever for this animated show. But for some reason, I was casted as Batman in it. And so, and my entire dream was basically me practicing a Batman voice. All right, there we go. The time's up. Yeah, drowning cowboy ASMR. But no, so I had a dream for some reason that I was the voice actor for Batman in an animated show. And the entire dream was just me trying to, like, practice a Batman voice. And whenever I woke up at, like, 6:45 a.m., I just started going, like, I'm Batman. Just over and over again. I was like, what would a Batman voice sound like? And just, like, trying out Batman voices before passing out again. But now I'm like, I feel like I'm actually starting to get awake, which that's the nice thing about these morning streams, is that, you know, especially a day like today, I otherwise probably would have just slept in as late as possible. But now what I can do instead is, like, I've essentially forced myself awake. This is my caffeine, right? This is my adrenaline for the day that wakes me up. And now, I don't go in, since I'm only going to be streaming for an hour or so, so I'm going to end about 11 a.m. my time. That gives me 3 whole hours of shit that I probably wouldn't have had, and I'm awake during it, right? Caffeine? Yeah, so what I mean by that is, this is my caffeine in the sense that this is what's waking me up in the morning. I don't drink caffeine anymore. I cannot... It gives me so much anxiety, and it is so potent for me that I could have caffeine in the morning of a day, like at like 8 a.m., and at midnight that same day, I would be there laying in bed, like incredibly anxious and literally shaking at like unable to sleep and shaking. That's what caffeine does to me nowadays. I cannot do it. It's like people say that caffeine, like the more you have it, the more like you grow a resistance to it, right? And you need more, which I can actually explain the science of. I actually know the science of that. Poor beasts. Beasts don't have caffeine, actually. So that's fine. Also, I'm not reading that. But yeah, beautiful Ruby mentioned. Yeah, caffeine makes you sleepy. I've heard that's a thing. I definitely do not have that. That'd be kind of nice, actually. No, so actually, the way that caffeine works, the whole caffeine resistance things works with, you know, this is how it's supposed to work anyways. Obviously, I'm sure it's more complicated and different people are different. But generally, your brain... Okay, actually, I want to do something like this. We're gonna do this. do? Why can you not see anything? What? Why can you not see anything? Do I have to make this white? What is going on with my screen? What the fuck? What the fuck? I was gonna... Can I make this white and it shows? What the fuck is going on? I just wanted to show MS Paint off. I just wanted to draw for you guys. Well, turns out I can't... Wait, how am I gonna do my drawing stream I want to do then? I'll figure it out another time. I'll figure it out another time. So I guess we're not doing this after all. No, I'll still draw it out though. So basically, I'll even do it in my little crown art. Okay, so your brain has like these little receptors. So I'm gonna start by drawing a brain. You got little like brain going on here. That's the shape of a brain for sure. Yeah, I'll make these a silly shape. I'm gonna do like a... So your brain has these little receptors where they're trying to look for certain like proteins and enzymes or whatever, right? So I'm gonna show this. I call this one brain. So imagine this, right? Your brain's got the little receptors that are there, and they're looking for things that are that exact shape. And then... comes along... I really wish I could just be showing you guys me drawing this, but whatever. Then comes along, there's a protein that your body creates called adenosine. And it just so happens to be the exact right shape for those receptors. And vaguely what adenosine does, we don't exactly know everything, but what adenosine does is it tells your brain, hey, you need rest because, you know, the body needs sleep for so many different functions, right? The brain needs rest, your muscles need rest, things like that. And adenosine is in charge of saying, hey, you literally need to go to sleep. And it just so happens that caffeine is in that exact same shape. And so, essentially what you're doing whenever you drink caffeine is you are plugging caffeine into the receptors where adenosine is supposed to go. And so your brain is no longer getting the command that it needs sleep in order to rest. And so, what ends up happening though is your body is still producing that adenosine. And your brain is like, well, we're not getting that adenosine, and we need that because we need to rest. Like, it's floating around, there's no place for it to go. Let's just make new receptors because we must not have enough. And so your brain creates new and more receptors, which means that you can get more adenosine at one time. Which is why whenever you drink a lot of caffeine and then you stop drinking caffeine, why you're so tired all the time is because you have all of those leftover receptors from whenever you were plugging them full of caffeine and your brain was still trying to get sleep. So that's why you need more caffeine in order to stay awake and why you need caffeine in order to not be super, super tired. So that is the science behind caffeine and, like, I don't know, becoming dependent on it. Vaguely. I probably explained that really, really poorly, but it's alright, hopefully, maybe. Alright, but no, let me get you guys back over here so I can read chat easier. Give me shape, please. That looks like they're like little like peanuts. So there you go. You can go like open up a bag of peanuts or whatever. Okay, professor. You know, actually, whenever I was studying at university before I realized that I hated it, I was actually studying to become a professor. At first, I wanted to be a music professor because I love music theory, love music, and I actually, like, that's what I was studying for. But it turns out that trying to be a musician as a job is a lot of fucking work. It's also worth noting that I was going to a very, very prestigious music school. Because, you know, I'm quite the trombonist, if I do say so myself. And... okay, to put it like this, and this is not a statistic that I am making up or anything, the direct closest comparison on the prestige of my trombone program I was a part of compared to any other school ever was Juilliard. So I was essentially going to a school that was about as impressive on the music, like in the music field, as Juilliard. Not Juilliard, but very, very similar. And I don't want to get into it, but honestly, you could probably figure it out. Ooh, welcome on in. Welcome, welcome. Yes, good morning. So, yeah, and what's worse is I had to go through this whole, like, rigorous audition process in order to get in. And I got on the wait list originally. I didn't even technically get into the program. I was like the guy who barely didn't. But then somebody decided to not go to that school after all, and I was able to take that spot. So quite literally, I was at the bottom immediately. I barely scraped my way in. And I remember the first time I met like the other freshmen of that, of that class, and the question came up. One of them asked, "Oh, so how many times did you all make All-State?" Which, if you don't know, within, the whole music thing, All-State, basically, whenever you're in high school, there's like this whole like competition where you basically see like who can play the best, right? And then there's the whole All-State band and everything. And the question was not, did you ever make All-State? It was, how many times did you all make All-State? And all of them were like, oh yeah, 2 times, 3 times. One of them was like, oh yeah, I was the #1 in this other state for like 2 years. And like I flew, like these people were moving states just to be at this school, right? And I didn't even make area, which is like the step below state. Now, mind you, that's because I have really, really bad performance anxiety. And I've actually been told by multiple people were like, yeah, you're actually better than some of the people I heard at like the All-State band. Because I knew people who made All-State. They're like, yeah, you're actually better than some of them. If you didn't have that anxiety, you probably would have made it. But yeah, so we love an underdog. Unfortunately, this story does not end well because they completely stripped away all of my passion and joy for playing my instrument for a while. Because I was doing, like 18 credit hours, with only one of those counting as marching band. And there was the, I was nonstop playing my trombone with 18 credit hours of schoolwork. And I was expected to practice my trombone at least 4 hours a day. And I was. And that's the worst part. I was. But my teachers would say, you're obviously slacking, you're lazy, you're not practicing, and you're not going to make it if you continue like this. Even though I would not be getting sleep because I was staying up to go off to the practice rooms just to practice more. So, yeah, it was kind of terrible. Same happened to me with art school. No, I'm really sorry to hear that. And it sucks. It's a terrible, terrible feeling. I'm gonna be honest. Because, like, that's something I really wanted to do. My band teacher yelled that I was holding back the band in middle school. Yikes. Yeah, there's something about those. There's something about those band directors that, like... Also, Theory, welcome on. I assume it's pronounced Theory. That's how I've heard it pronounced. And YouTube chat, welcome on in. Welcome, welcome. I guess if you think about it, the people who are actually make it through the whole like music education program are probably going to be the same ones who see very little with how harsh it can be and how like cutthroat it is. Especially because like these things are all things that I was actually told is that one of my teachers even said to me, it's like, oh, this other person is naturally talented enough to not have to practice. So it's okay whenever they do it. But you aren't. You don't have the talent. So you need to practice. You need to practice more. Even though once again, 18 credit hours and practicing 4 hours a day. So yeah, I kind of got really fucking bummed out and it's like, I can't do this. So I ended up dropping out of that and said, well, I still want to be a professor. I still loved the idea of teaching. And I don't know, there's something very appealing about the idea of it to me. And so something else the other thing I'd been really interested in was history. So I was considering being a history teacher. And then I realized that college costs money and I could be doing other things. And now my dream is, I've actually realized, I actually think that being a streamer is an extension of that interest of being a teacher because I like, how do I put this? I like teaching people about things that I like and like that I'm passionate about. And I just like chatting in front of people about things that I like. And I feel like being a history professor would essentially be me wanting to nerd out about history. I mean, don't get me wrong. I also very much care about the idea of like educating the future generation. But I also just like chatting about that stuff. And I think that this is a natural extension. It might be part... Also, I still have the dog ears on. Might be a natural extension of that same interest, if that makes sense. And now I can't imagine wanting to do anything else. Like, if I... Even my current day job, I only do because I'm already there, right? Because, like, I have it. And in fact, I've even been considering getting a new job because, holy shit, I need more money. I don't know what happened to this last paycheck of mine, but yikes. That's all I'm gonna say. Speaking of which, I'm still doing a donathon if anybody wants to donate. No, I should make it. I should be fine. That said, I really need to start putting in some applications. Maybe I'll do like customer service or radio. I've been told that I have a really nice voice for radio. Like, and next up we've got, I don't know, this is Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. And then I don't know. And then that whole thing, right? So maybe I need to find a way to be like a radio commentator. It's like the compliment version of like, oh, you have a face fit for radio, right? But like this time it's actually a compliment. Like, yeah, you got a voice fit for radio. Which I am flattered. If I'd only heard it once, I'd be like, oh wow, that's really sweet. But I'm like, is that real? But I've heard it multiple times now. And that specific compliment. And that's just like baffling to me. Or I'll do like customer service. Whenever I do a customer service voice, what is it? It's hello, welcome to this place. What can I get for you today? right? Because I feel like everybody has a customer service voice, right? Actually, I have a friend who I used to work with who his voice is like slightly higher pitched than mine, not too much though. And his customer service voice was so much higher pitched than his normal voice that he got called ma'am so often. Like just you know, let's say his normal voice was around right here, he would go all the way up here with his customer service voice. Like, "Hi, what can I get for you?" Can you tell that I worked food service? Because that's what I think of whenever I say, when I'm doing a customer service, anything. I'm just thinking back to like taking food orders online at a restaurant. Oh, I'm having PTSD of working at that place where it was like a very, very small, like, a business. Like, it was a franchise of businesses, but they were all local to like my area, and because of that, they weren't very well known, and there weren't very many people who would work at each location. You also consider that you use a streamer voice when you're live. The closest I have, like, I think I do alter my voice very slightly, but not very much, and it's also not intentional. And I think that's because I've practiced my intro so many times that I say it in a specific voice. You know, I go, "Behold, the world's 9th greatest detective and independent investigator. It is I, Osian Whitlock, at your service." And because of that, I feel like I naturally fall into a specific voice, but it's not something that I necessarily intentionally do when I stream, right? And if anything, especially because I was really tired whenever I started streaming today, I also feel like my voice is just slightly bassier and a little bit lower than it normally would be right now. Whereas I feel like, well, maybe I'd be a little bit more up here. I barely even hear a difference, if I'm being completely honest. Like, there definitely is one, it's just not very noticeable to me. And even then, right now, because I'm tired, trying to do what I consider my quote-unquote normal voice feels like it's taking a lot of effort right now. Like, I don't have the energy to project like this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remain down here because this feels way better right now. Oh, but what was I saying? Oh, what was I saying? Something voices. Oh, right. I was getting PTSD from fucking working at that place. Because I would work like over 50 hours a week. I want to say like nearing 60 hours a week. And most of that time was spent running the restaurant basically alone. Like, yes, there were people who would like make certain parts of the food, but I would be making specific foods for the restaurant while also taking all the orders and keeping the entire place clean and operating the phone and doing all like the cash register shit. Like, I was a jack of all trades there. I literally had to do everything by myself. And so just imagine me going crazy. It's like, oh, well, we have an online order, and we have we've got an online order, we've got a phone order, we got a line of 3 people, and I've got to clean that table, and I got to bring this food out, and got to call this person up to grab their to-go order, and all of that, just having to juggle that on my own. Fucking sucked. But you know what? I was damn good at it. Holy shit, was I good at it. Oz does have the voice. Oh, like the customer service voice. Like, "Hello, welcome in. What can I get for you?" "Oh, you want that? Sure thing. Anything else?" "All right, is that going to be everything?" "All right, then go ahead and follow me over to the register." I cannot tell you how many times I've said that. Actually, I could probably do the math technically. If I looked at like the average number of orders I had in a day and compared that to the amount of days I worked, I could probably figure it out. Which the answer is 6. I worked 6 days a week, but usually it would be like 4 really long days and then like 2 shorter days. I say that, but if I was nearing 60 hours a week, then each day was probably around 8 hours. Except I know for a fact that some of those were 11 hours, so some of them have to have been shorter as well. Oh, my cat stopped being such a gremlin, and now he's just chilling on my lap. What's up, baby? He looks so tired, too. I actually didn't know that cats are, like, they're one of the species of animals that's more active at, like, kind of like dawn and dusk is whenever they're most active. That explains why my cats are so chaotic in the morning and in, like, in the evening, but throughout the day, they're like little sweet, tired angels. It's like sometimes I just feel like because I'm gone for work most of the day, I just feel like they're always chaotic, but no. Whenever I'm home in the middle of the day, they're just so nice and chill, and it just so happens that if I'm home all day, it's around the same time I get home that they get all crazy again. But getting my summer job started this Sunday. Getting meager pay and a lot of fun. Oh yeah, it's a, oh, you mentioned it. It was a summer camp, right? I think you mentioned it was a summer camp that you're gonna be doing. Yeah, I remember that. I mean, it does sound like that would, in fact, be meager pay. But also, if you like that kind of environment, then fucking hell yeah, have fun with it. I'll be out of state for like 60 days. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I could never. That reminds me, I actually had a thought the other day where I was thinking, hypothetically speaking, if I ever lived abroad, let's say that I did not live in America for whatever reason, I think that I would fabricate as many lies about my country, about America, as possible, and then just use the excuse of, oh yeah, I'm an American, so I would know, right? Like people are like, I don't know, I'll do an accent like, oh my goodness, you're from America? That's absolutely, I don't know, that's so incredibly, what's like a British word for crazy? I don't know. That's absolutely Minchfeld. That's absolutely, like, bonkers. There you go. Mental, thank you. It's like, oh, that's absolutely mental. It's like, oh, is it true? Is it true that you use guns and just shoot your food while they're on the barbie in order to cook it? Like, damn straight. You grab the family AK-47, you know, it's over there in the toddler's room because that's the safest place for it after all. You grab the AK, you go over to the grill, and there we got the 17-pound steak that we're all gonna share. With no forks or knives or anything. We're all just gonna be biting off of it together at the same time. And just in order to get that extra little bit of like smoke on it, you know what you do? You just fire at it a few times. And then you do have to use some tongs to get the bullets out though, unfortunately. That's kind of the annoying part, but it's okay because we have a certain like bullet remover in order to make the job easier. And typically, if you go to a steak restaurant, which is actually 4 out of 5 restaurants in America is actually a steak place, and there's actually a specific bullet tong remover is a job that you can have, where that's all you do all day. I'm just gonna like fucking lie about it. Or if anybody asks me any questions at all, yep, that's true. I'll just be a yes man for every myth. Yeah, it's only one state over, and staff have a designated living area for each camp. Oh, that's fine. I'm American. Why am I believing this? Because it's true, duh. I would know. I'm an American. So you gotta listen to me. You gotta believe me, please. Also, I'm not gonna be going for much longer since I do have some stuff that I want to get done today. I've been putting off so much stuff because I've been so fucking busy lately. But I'm gonna enjoy this next 3 hours before it. Well, I guess, okay, let's be realistic. If I'm going into work at 2, I need to leave at 1:30, so I really only have 2.5 hours, but I also still need to shower, so I really only have about 2 hours. So I've got about 2 hours to get a shit ton done. So, thank you all so much for hanging out. It was, you know what? I feel really good now. I feel really like kind of like wide awake at this point. My brain is finally working. Take 30-minute showers. My showers, that is my therapy time. That is my time to just get lost in like meditation, all right? And for me to, and I mean this unironically, well, first of all, to do my singing practice. People talk about singing in the shower. What I do in the shower is solfege practice. Well, and actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll show you what I do. So I'll pick a note. I'll go like do. I'll start lower. Like I don't know. Do. I'll pick a note, and then I have a specific pattern that I do every time. I go do re do ti do re mi fa so fa mi re do re mi fa so fa mi re do mi so mi do. And I just do that, which that wasn't very good because I'm not warmed up and because I didn't practice it today. Anyways, here's this back on. So yeah, I do that and I just keep going on different notes. And I'll just have different like patterns that I do as well, but that's the main one I do. And I just keep going up and down chromatically. So between that and then practicing my little like D&D voices. So I'll just imagine I'm in a D&D scenario and think, okay, what am I like? What like? Oh, so you're there the party is. You're walking down a winding road through the forest, and you see some. You see what appears to be a rabbit that's caught in a trap in the middle of the road. And the druid walks up. It's like, oh, I'm going to cast Speak with Animals so I can speak with the rabbit. And then the rabbit looks at you and is like, please, help me, they're hiding in the bushes. And then you're like, what the fuck? What? And you look over and it turns out that there's bandits who have come out of the bushes to ambush you while your attention's distracted. One of them, he's got scraggly uncut hair and a few missing teeth. He's a human. He looks at you like, give me all your gold right now. Right? And there you go. And I practice all my stupid voices in the shower. And I wouldn't be able to have that much flexibility with my voice if I didn't do it. So yes, I do take long showers. Anyways, yes, I'm going to... I just wash off and get out. No, it is a special time. You know what? Since it is this time of the day, we are going to take advantage of the fact that we are, it's a little bit earlier in the day, and that we've got our, European audience, or like Europeans who are actually streaming at reasonable hours that I can raid into. So we are going to raid into one. This is somebody who I discovered recently, who I think is incredibly funny, and that you should all go check out. One Charlie Chilling is who we're going to raid today. So thank you all so much for stopping by, hanging out with me. I do think we'll be doing more of these after all. This was a lot of fun. So I will see you all later for Chrono Trigger, which is going to be starting, 8 hours from now. That is at 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time. We're going to be trying to finish the game. We're going to just get through the rest of it. But for now, let's go ahead and consider this case closed. Have a fantastic day, everyone.